giant cable spools. The wife is planning to make tables out of those cable spools. I never thought I'd hear the day, think, imagine the day that I would say, hear, think, whatever. Hey man, you think you're gonna want a cable spool table? Living with a creative, man. I figured I was going to have a pretty chill day today. I have done. Today was going to be a social day. Because we'd invited a friend over for dinner, for a Sunday roast, who we haven't seen since COVID. Lockdowns. We bumped into him, and the wife said, hey yo, come around for dinner, yeah? So I was like, cool. We'll have dinner. And fucking great day. Like, just full on afternoon day, just chatting shit, having a laugh, you know, catching up. Lots of stuff happens in like 2 years, right? And this one thing rocked up in a comment, just a random ass comment. And he says, I'll kind of, so it's not exactly what was said, but the gist of it. You know, what it's like to not be able to sleep. You're exhausted and you keep pushing forwards until you get to the point utterly exhausted, broken, and you get the chance to sleep. You're given the chance to sleep. You find that one opportunity where you get to sleep. You're on that edge. You can feel it coming. And then as you're about to drift off, you know, embraced by sleep, bam, something happens and you have to keep going. You know, the world doesn't line up. Again, you've pushed through for so long, and then you push through, and then you lay there and you're like, right, I could probably get some sleep now. Maybe only a couple hours, but I can get some sleep. And then there'll be like a knock on the door, or a phone call, or something else will crop up, and you just want to cry. And I'm like, yeah, I know how that feels. And that really clicked. What I wanted to say today, not just to our friend, but to everyone I know, and I say this especially to my children, right? Sleep when you can. If something ain't done, just sleep and do it later. That's one thing that I need to learn to do now. If it's mission critical and it desperately needs to get done, I mean desperately, right? The punishment, if it's not completed, will be death. Unless that is what you're going up against, go to sleep. Go to sleep. People probably won't be thankful for it, even if you don't sleep. If you've not done it because of some other thing, like that you chose to do instead of do the thing that you're supposed to do, that's on you. But my kids have this nerve where they're like, yeah, we're gonna stay up, we're gonna stay up. I was like, hey yo, you can do that when you're young. That's great. You know, you're like, oh yeah, I can keep going, great. You've got no responsibilities or anything like that, and I can stay up, I'm not tired. I was like, as soon as you have responsibilities and something's going to crop up and it's going to no sleep for you, you will beg for sleep. You will beg for it. I was an asshole, I was an idiot. Like right now, I stayed up until 4 a.m. So I was like, yeah, I'm just gonna get this done. I'm just gonna get this done. And you'll never see that level. You won't see that polish, but it breaks you just that little bit more. Like them cracks start to get deeper and deeper and deeper until it breaks. I mean, I'd probably get 3 to 4 hours of sleep a night. You know, when some of my mates go, oh yeah, you know, I stayed up late, I went to bed at like 11:30. I'm like, you cheeky bastards. Often will I not go to bed until 2, 3, 4 o'clock in the morning, and still have to get up at like 7 o'clock in the morning, right? I'll get, let's say 3, 4 hours of sleep. Sometimes, a couple times a month, I might get 7 or 8. Feel refreshed for that brief moment. But most of the time, I'm definitely sleeping under 4. Definitely sleeping under 4. 5 or 6 would be, that'd be beautiful, absolutely beautiful. But most of the time, it's under 4 or under, and it just. You do often get to the point where it's like, I've done everything. The planets have aligned. It's time to go to bed. And you go to bed. You try to go to sleep. And then just everything else happens. I used to be a night worker, right? I used to work night shifts. And I love night shifts, man, because it's so quiet. And you can just get everything done. But everyone else has to live their life during the day. So it's usually loud. And, like, I don't know, it would just... any number of things can happen. Knocking on the door, neighbours are doing something in their house, people just come around or they start phoning or whatever, because there's times when they're bored. They've already had their sleep, right? They don't think you need sleep, so they just they wake you up, or they keep you awake. And so my advice to folks is just go to fucking sleep. If you need to sleep, sleep. Let it wait. Unless it's mission critical, like punishment of death, go to sleep. I really need to start doing that, or demanding more time. I sometimes try and trick myself, right? We've got a broken clock in the front room, and it says 4:45. And every single day I'll look at it, okay, 4:45. Got loads of time before bedtime. I know it's broken. I haven't changed the battery in it because this is just a little mental trick I play on myself. 4:45 is great. Because you really get to see the mindset swing of exhaustion when you do things like this, right? It's just sound really stupid, but maybe just try it, right? When you think you've got loads of time, your spirit lifts up. The morale just really gets a good boost, and you look at the clock. It's 4:45. I've got hours. I can fit so much in. I can get so much done. Then it comes out, like, midnight hits. Now, as I say, I usually have to get up around 7 o'clock. 7 a.m. Usually a bit earlier than that, but 7 a.m. 7 a.m. at the absolute latest. When any other clock in the house rolls around past midnight, and I look at that clock, I know that I have absolutely no time left. If it was 4:45, I'd only have a couple hours left before I have to get out of bed. And my mood sinks through the floor. Like my mate said, I just want to cry. And I'm just like, I don't want to be awake right now, but there's still stuff that has to be done. And I just thought that was interesting. It's been interesting talking to people recently. And I was like, there are so many things. I was talking to my neighbour the other day, and he mentioned about how the walls are so thin you can practically hear someone eating their breakfast like 5 doors up. So yeah, we have that too. It's absolutely terrible. To have another one of our friends come round and talk and just basically say to me, hey yo, you know what that's like? Pushing through all the time, completely exhausted, just pushing through exhaustion. To the point that you think you can sleep, and then something happens and you can't, and you just want to cry. I know exactly what that feels like. Self-inflicted at this point, but I know exactly what it feels like, and it has to fucking stop. If you are younger than me, and I know I sound like such a fucking... My sons call me a fucking boomer. It's like, man, that is such a boomer way to think. It's like, piss off, dude. Boomers are lucky as fuck, right? I'm 37 years old. I swear I feel like I'm in my 90s at this point. I feel like I'm a 97-year-old man. There are actually reasons for that, other than the lack of sleep, but I feel like a crusty, grouchy old man, yeah? If you are younger than me, cherish your motherfucking sleep. Just go to bed right now. Lay in your bed if you've got no responsibilities, just lay there and just realize how comfortable you can get and just how peaceful that is, and then just go, I could sleep right now and sleep for however long I want. Fucking lucky bastards. Because when you get older, you'll beg for it. You will beg for a few hours of sleep. You will beg for the responsibilities just to piss off for 20 minutes, or for people to leave you alone for an hour just so you can have a power nap or something like that, man. I've never been into power naps before, but over the last couple of years I've gotten really sick. My health has tanked hardcore because I haven't looked after myself. Work when you're young. Work as hard as you can when you're young and make it as comfortable as you can from when you get to be an old fucking fogue, a crusty old prick like me. Because if you have all the fun when you're young, those debts have to be paid. In every aspect of life. I don't mean like debts like just financial. Everything has to be paid back. Everything you do has some kind of debt, some kind of cost. Physical, mental, the emotional strain, financial strain. You have to pay it back eventually. And there are so many people of my age who are now broken as fuck because they partied hard when they were young, or they did whatever when they were young, and now they're older, they are fucking done because they can't rest when they want. They can't do all of the things that they want to do. They are just broken, and they're just constantly trying to push forwards, and just don't do it. Don't do it. Don't sit there in the morning screaming. I often just sit here staring at my screen, staring at my PC screen, and I'm like, what am I doing? I could be asleep right now. So my advice is to you, go to bed. That's what I'm now about. I don't even know what time it is. It's getting quite late. But I've had a great day. I wanted to talk about the whole sleep thing beforehand, and then to have my mate say that, I was just like, fucking hell. Even my wife said to me today, she's like, you know what, I just want to go to bed. I just want to sleep. I was like, yep. Just, if you feel like shit and you can, get some sleep. Look after yourself. God, I wish I could have come up with a more compact way of saying that. I've said it about a billion times through in this already. I've repeated myself a million times. That's it. So, I'm going to try and go to bed. 3 to 4 hours is just not good. It's not sustainable. I hope you're well. I'll see you all with a bit of luck in the next one. Oh, I've got so much left to do though.